Hey guys, welcome back. I have been really meaning to make a video completely dedicated to creative grooming and what I think about it. Because I think I have a different perspective than a lot of people may because I did take human hair first. Now, just a quick background on me. I went to hair school in 2011. I graduated in 2012. I went to the state boards in 2012 and I got my license. I kept my license until about 2015 and then I let it expire because I just was not using it anymore. I'm going to put my phone somewhere that it's not because I'm going to get distracted. But anyway, I let my license expire because I think it was like $120 a year because you had to go take classes and then it costs to renew your license. So it was a lot of money for something that I wasn't using currently. So I did choose to let my cosmetology license expire, but I do know the basics of color enough so that I still feel like I could perform color, especially, with the dog industry being as unregulated as it is in a lot of aspects, but especially, I feel like, with the creative, it was a lot for me to take in at first. So I think that's really why I wanted to talk about it because, honest to God, I was that person. I didn't support creative grooming when I started. And that is because I came from human hair and I had to study color theory for months to be able to use color on a client. So to me, I was seeing all these people, maybe taking a creative class, maybe not even doing that, and just going and buying color and putting it on dogs. And to me, that was terrifying because I was like, they don't understand what's in it. They don't understand, the chemicals and what they do and what happens to the hair when you're coloring and all of that. So I was very against creative grooming. So I just started seeing more and more people doing it online, and I just started getting this feeling of like, you know what, if these people that don't know color, that haven't done it and all that, they're out here coloring dogs, why am I fighting it that hard? Like, why instead of me sitting here and being like, well, nobody should do color because they don't know enough, like, how about I help? How about I help you guys learn what I know about color so that I can help you guys understand color even better so you can get even better results? So basically, I kind of had that realization like a couple months ago. Like I was really being a hater. I really, like, honest to God, that's like what I would call it. I was being a hater because I was seeing these people doing all these colors and they looked beautiful and all that, but I was just over here bitter that I paid a lot of money to know about color. I mean, hair school without, including what I spent on my supplies and everything was like $14,000. I paid a lot of money to know what I know. And I think I almost felt like they're like trying to, like, I'm like, here are all these people in my eyes that are essentially, and I feel like this is going to sound harsh, but to me it was like people that they didn't know, or like maybe like amateurs, like, oh, like, you're just picking up color and just painting it on a dog and you don't even know what it is or what it does, the difference between semi-permanent and permanent, all of that. And that was one problem I had with the color, was that I was seeing companies putting labels like permanent hair color, but the actual product they were selling was a semi-permanent, which was not being mixed with the developer. There is a difference between semi-permanent and permanent hair color. And demi-permanent, and then we have temporary, which is going to be like your chalks, your hairsprays, the blow pens, all that stuff is your temporary. So there's a lot to know. I think Lori, Angela, and Adrienne can teach color like no other. For three women that did not come from cosmetology background, they know their stuff. This book from Angela Cumpy, The Ultimate Guide to Salon Creative, this is what you need. And there are definitely more things that, we could definitely, like, and that's where I want to come in and help you guys is, we're, like, she does talk about semi-permanent and permanent and all of that stuff, but through flipping through, I haven't seen her talk about like the color wheel and stuff like that. And I think that's important to know too. Like if you are trying to do creative and understanding like complementary colors and stuff like that. So I have my human hair book here. And this is the color wheel. So this shows you why, okay, so purple cancels yellow. Okay, so that's why you want purple in your whitening shampoos, because it's going to cut that yellow. That's the shimmering lights. And I know Ion and all different places are now selling purple shampoos for humans. And that's why, because it cuts out the yellow brassy tones. So you want to do the complementary colors. That's why I've had such a huge issue with the green crystal white or whatever they call it that I've been using, the Easy Groom products. That's the salon that I was going to. So if you look, they cut orange and red, which maybe with the facial stuff, but I haven't even noticed it cutting that. Like, you know, when you get the dogs that have like the red paws, I really haven't even had it do much for that. But the yellows, you know, the purples are good for that. But anyway, so I think knowing complementary colors is important. And then there are there's the color wheel. Okay, so our primary colors are yellow, red, and blue. Now, those are colors that you cannot make with any other color. So there are no colors that you can mix together to make red, yellow, or blue. So those are your primary colors. That's what that means. And then there are secondary colors. And that is your orange, your green, and your violet, because you're mixing the primary colors together to get the secondary color. Now, this is really helpful to know, too. For example, I bought the Opause semi-permanent kit. It didn't come with a red. Now I know, like, I didn't realize when I bought it that it didn't come with a red, but I know I need a red because they were actually out of the purple, and I was going to create my own purple, but since I don't have a red, I can't make a purple. So that's why if you buy any colors, like say you need to buy, you have a limited budget, but you want to be able to make all the colors in the rainbow, buy red, yellow, and blue, and you can make any other color you need. That's the beauty about semi-permanent, is that you can mix it together. What you see is what you get. So if you mix your red and yellow and you have a beautiful orange in your bowl, that is the color you're going to get on your dog. And that is why semi-permanent is so nice to work with. And basically, Angela Cumpy explained in her creative grooming class that the reason that Opause, for example, calls their permanent color permanent is on the dog's hair. It does last like a permanent color, but it's not permanent. It's not made up like a permanent. A permanent hair color is made of all small molecules, and you need a developer. The developer helps those molecules bond. So basically, your hydrogen peroxide, all of that, that's going to lift your cuticle. And your molecules, your small molecules from the permanent color, they're going to go up in that cuticle, they're going to bond with the developer, and then now they're going to be too big to come back out. So you basically, that's what makes it permanent, is it's permanently bonded inside of the cuticle. Now there is temporary color. That is all big molecules. The big molecules can't fit in the cuticle, so they're only on the outside. So temporary is all big molecules. And then we have semi and demi-permanent. Now they are actually the same. They are composed of big and small molecules, both demi and semi. The difference is you mix demi-permanent with developer, which causes those molecules to meet together and combine, and then they can't come back out. So your demi is going to last longer than a semi-permanent, and that is because of your developer. So if you are not mixing a developer with your color, you do not have a permanent hair color. You don't have a demi-permanent. If there's no developer, it's not permanent and it's not demi. So don't let stuff like that fool you. And actually, Angela, I think I already said this, but you know, for somebody that doesn't have color background, she does know that. That is something that's talked about in here. I know she has a whole chapter. She even has your material safety data sheets in here. These are going to tell you about the chemicals that are in your products. It talks about the, you know, like if you were to get it in your eyes, like what to do, that kind of stuff. But, you know, so it's really cool she has those in here. Let me see, because I want to see. Okay, so basically Angela's done a lot of the research for us because it's so new doing creative color. I mean, it's not like brand new, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's starting to really take off and get a lot more popular. So she's done the research for you. Basically what she does, like you can see here, she talks about pet products versus human products. She studies the ingredients and figures out what stuff is used in animal products versus the human products, what's safe to use, what's not. So that's really awesome. And, you know, she says right here, trust your instincts and do your own research. I think that's really important. But yeah, so, and she teaches you how to research things. I mean, I really haven't, I wish I would have had more time to, like, go through this book, but I haven't. I've just flipped through it a few more times. But I think there's just really good information in this book. And if you are trying to make that jump into creative color, then I highly recommend that you get this book. A goal of mine is I would really like to be able to teach color for dogs, especially since I have the cosmetology background. I would love to do like a, you know, an actual school for color, because right now, you know, I don't even know if grooming schools have creative in their courses. I'm really not completely sure, but that would be like a dream job of mine, would be to like have like a creative school with like Angela and Lori and Adrian and Jilly and Melanie. Well, I know Melanie doesn't do a lot of creative grooming by Melanie. She doesn't do a lot of creative right now, but it's something that she's interested in too. But I would love to do a school like that where we could really dig in about color, because it's not that I don't think groomers are capable of color. I just know how extensive it is and how much it is to learn and how careful you have to be, because if you mess up, you can burn, like you are working with chemicals, like you can burn a dog. Like if you apply bleach the wrong way, you can burn a dog, you can burn a human. Even using the wrong types of bleach, there are on the scalp lighteners and off the scalp lighteners. So there is really a lot to it. And that's why I was so against it for so long. But you know, reality just kind of hit me. I was like, this is something that's going to happen, and I can either be part of it and help try to make it even better, or I can sit over here in the corner and be bitter for no freaking reason, which is so stupid, because I really do like the creative grooming. And you know, now I've done a little bit more research. I understand that these products are being formulated for animals. I really like the Opause semi-permanent color because it's it's not strong. And that's like the one thing with hair color that I have found that I wouldn't want to use it on a dog, is some of them are very intense. Like that ammonia, the peroxide, like that, all that is like very intense. Like, and I'm sure some of you guys have noticed when you're getting your hair done that, you know, I've had foils on my face or on my eyes that start to make my eyes water and burn. You know, my scalp can be really sensitive, so I can have irritation to that. So that's why I think I'm not against creative grooming, but I want more education out there about that, because, you know, it's the same thing. Like, we had to understand different skin types and different, diseases and infections and stuff like that people can have, so you know what to look out for. Like, for example, and I know a lot of creative groomers do this, but if you have a dog that has irritated skin, they don't really need color. Once you can get that under control, because the color is just adding a whole new chemical in there that could really affect them. I know Katrina Short, I've talked to her about creative grooming before, and she said that she does not do any creative on a dog that doesn't have perfect skin. And she has certain qualifications. I know Angela talked about this too. Like, obviously, if the dog's freaking out and a biter and they're not good for grooming anyway, they don't need a pink tail. You know what I'm saying? And I really agreed with her on that too. But I really wanted to say before I forget, my biggest thing with this class, me and Jilly had planned, because Jay Scruggs and Suzeko were doing a class at the same time as this creative class. So we had planned we were going to do half of the day in creative and half of the day with Jay and Sue. We sat down in creative. We were there for maybe 20 minutes, and we were like, so we're staying here all day, aren't we? And that's exactly what we did. I bought like their whole store. I still have all my stuff here. Because as you guys know, I am quitting my job. I am working very hard to open a mobile grooming business. That's my ultimate goal. But starting out, I'm going to be doing house call grooming, just until I can get my feet off the ground and get my mobile van and all of that. But that's my plan. So if you are one of my clients, just reach out to me. We'll get you set up, and I will get your dog groomed. No worries. But I love this too, but I actually wanted to make a separate video on these nail wraps. So I'm just going to show them to you for a second, because I feel like it still goes in with the creative grooming stuff. But I just wanted to kind of show you some stuff from Angela's booth. But the really cool thing about Angela Cumpy to me is that she's so, I guess, innovative. Like, she's just so, like, creative. Like, it's like she's considered like a creative groomer, and that's really like the adjective I would use to describe her. Because like her and Adrian and Lori, I mean, they like look at things like, I've seen these for years in Hobby Lobby and at craft stores and stuff. I never thought to put this on a dog. And like, they're so cute. I know I have a picture. I'll attach it right here for you of Luna's. Like, I put it in one of my last videos, but just in case you didn't see, like, what? Like, these are so cute. Like, she's just so creative with these things, and the glitter and the earrings and like all of the it's just amazing, you guys. Like, it's so cool. And these stencils, oh my god, I don't know. And they're called bark art. Oh, it's by Esprit. I actually didn't realize that. You see, it says Esprit. But yeah, all of this stuff she's just so clever. And she's amazing. And if you're watching this, Angela, hi. I didn't think, okay, so I'm still getting used to all of this because I never thought that any of these, like, big groomers would ever watch any of my videos. And I know Angela, Lori, and Adrian all saw my video after Barkley. And I know Angela shared it. I think Lori commented on it, and Adrian actually messaged me, which was so unbelievable because I just think she's like one of the coolest people in the world. And Angela too. The first creative groomer I ever knew was Katrina Short. I saw her go like viral with Zeus. She had him, I want to say painted, and I think it's like the southern side of me. She's not painting him. That's like that, but she had him colored that he looked like a zebra. And that was before she got Kevin, because now Zeus she does as a giraffe, and then Kevin is the zebra now. But that was the first time I saw it, and I was so entranced and just like, whoa, like that is so cool. But I thought, you know, like, oh, they have to have all this training and stuff. And then when I started realizing, like one thing I've had an issue with, I've seen creative groomers grooming with no gloves. Now, this is where I think the education is really important. When you put semi-permanent color on your hands, it doesn't burn, it doesn't feel like anything, so you're just like, this is fine, you know what I'm saying? But what happens is over time, you can develop contact dermatitis, which is basically a skin, I think it follows under the infections, and basically what it causes is it will cause these crazy, like, red, irritated places on your hands, and it's brutal, you guys. I had a teacher in hair school that I think she only was in a salon for, like, I mean, it was a very small amount of time, like 2 to 3 years. She wasn't wearing gloves when she was doing color. Her hands would break out in a rash like you'd never seen in your life. It was terrifying. And she literally couldn't work in a salon anymore because of it. Only within such a small time frame, only 2 to 3 years, and she was no longer able, and she couldn't even help us. Like, if like we needed help with like rinsing a shampoo or working with a chemical, she had to be very careful because coming in contact with any of those chemicals would set her off. And it was, I mean, it would make it to where she couldn't use her hands. Okay. So that is the kind of stuff that I'm like, okay, we need more education here because, you know, like I said, you put some semi-permanent on your hands. Maybe you do it to your own hair every 6 weeks. It doesn't really matter. Worst thing that happens is you're like, oh, my hands are blue now. Who cares? But over time, if you are doing this regularly, you can develop contact dermatitis, and it is something that can be very serious. And like I said, after going to school and seeing how it affected that teacher, she would hit winter time and season changes, and her hands, they looked almost like, and I don't mean this in a mean way, so like in case she's ever watching this, like I feel like this sounds terrible, but it reminded me of like, you know, Freddy Krueger, like how he had like kind of like burn looking hands. That's what her hands look like. And she would talk about how painful it was, and it was from hair color. So there are some very important things to know. I will say Angela, Lori, and Adrian, they all use gloves, and they encourage that. So please, if you're watching this and you are getting into creative grooming, or you are a creative groomer and you're not wearing gloves, please look into contact dermatitis. If you don't believe me, just look into it. It is very serious, and I don't want anybody to ruin their career over a little bit of hair color. You see what I'm saying? Because you can even get it from your shampoos and stuff. And I have gotten it from using like low quality shampoos. My hands will start to break out, especially in the winter, because I have very dry skin. So it's something to really be mindful of. So there's a lot that goes into color beyond just like you grab it, squeeze it, and put it on the dog, you know? So I do think the best thing out there right now to learn what you would need to learn to be a creative stylist is in this book. You definitely have to get it if you want to know more about creative grooming. And if you guys would like me to do more videos breaking down color and how to use it, maybe we'll do a video on the color wheel and how to use that, because it's very important understanding all of this stuff, especially like in human hair, you're cutting a lot of yellow. That's why you want that blue, purple kind of shampoo, because when you lighten, your hair wants to go orangey yellow. So the orange is, it's not the color wheel anymore. Hold on. So orange is canceled out by blue. And then it's the red, orange, and green. I think I may have been pointing at the wrong thing earlier. But either way, so you need to know your complementary colors if you're trying to cancel things out, like we are trying to do with the whitening shampoos. And like I said, even like in hair school, what we did is we literally got a plate, and this might be a good practice for y'all to do at home too. We got a plate and we got these 3 colors on it, and we had to make all of these colors out of it. So we had to basically make our color wheel out of the primary colors. And I think that's really helpful because, like I said, sometimes you got to be creative. Like you're out of your orange and you've got to make your own orange, or you got to make your own purple, or whatever you need to do. You see what I'm saying? So, we can dive more into that, but I just wanted to say, if you are given the opportunity, you have to take a class by Angela Cumpy, Lori, and Adrienne. They make, like, it is insane how interesting they make this, just sitting there and watching them. I took an all-day class with them, and I thought for sure, like, halfway through the day, I would start being tired and I'd need to do something else, but I was, like, in it. So intrigued. Adrienne really pushed me to like want to start doing creative. One thing that's held me back is in South Carolina, there was issues with these people. We have this thing called the jockey lot, and basically people were taking these little chickens and I think rabbits too, and they were like rolling them in like actual paint to color them for like Easter or something, and it was inhumane. And basically they made laws against coloring. It says like livestock, but not limited to. So there's been some concerns that basically like, does that mean creative grooming is included? And it's possible, like, because I mean, it is open like that. It says it talks about livestock, but it says specifically it's not limited to livestock. So it is something that I've been worried about, but I've also thought about it really hard because it's very different. I'm using animal safe products. You know, the dogs are sitting on the table getting treats and love while I'm working on them. It's not rolling a dog in a pool of paint. You see what I'm saying? So I talked to Adrienne about that, and I was like, are there laws against it? Should I be worried? And she said, technically, yeah, there are laws against it, like because it can include dogs if they really wanted to go there. First of all, I mean, not to be that person, but I've dealt with animal control, and I know, I mean, I've had friends that have told me that they've, you know, found a dog that had no food, water, or shelter, and that's supposed to be the 3 things a dog has to have, and if they don't get those things, they're not supposed to, like, the owner shouldn't be allowed to keep them. Nothing happens. I mean, you can't even get animal control to come out half the time. So, Adrienne said she's been doing color for 20 years, and she's never had an issue. I feel like I have the training necessary to do creative, and I think the only thing that's stopping me is me. So I'm definitely excited to start including creative. I hope one day to be able to teach creative and teach the background, even though I can't do the designs and all the incredible things that these women can do. I can tell you the background of color, what it is, what it does, and I can talk about the color wheel. And I have this amazing book that I got in hair school that I can use to share with you guys so that, you know, I can make you guys even better creative groomers. So I just think there's a lot to learn, but I want to see the industry grow with that. So now I realize how stupid I was being by just like fighting this whole movement instead of supporting it and realizing, like, I'm so glad I took their class, because I went in a little bit skeptical. I was like, you know, they're not cosmetologists. Like, how would they even know about color and all of that? But Angela, if Angela said to me, oh, I used to be a cosmetologist, I never would have questioned it, you guys. She knows her stuff, and I'm very impressed by this book. And this book, I don't remember if I said, but it actually does talk about pricing and stuff too, which I think is really useful because I'm starting my own business now, and I don't know where to begin on pricing just for my business, much less for creative. There's really cool things in here too, like this like Santa nails, and look, she shows you like step by step. You start with the red, and then you do the white, and then you do the black line, and breaks it down. Like, that makes me feel like I could do it, and I'm not really good with those kind of things, but seeing that, I swear, like, I'm like, you know what, girl, I might be able to do that. This ladybug I was looking at, like, I might really be able to do that with the help of this book. So anyway, I'm excited about that. I did get nail wraps because now I'm pretty good with the nail wraps. Wouldn't this have looked so cute with Luna? I ended up using the DMK nail wraps for Luna, and the Halloween ones, they're really cute, but that is really cute too. You see what I'm saying? Because she's like, that's what I was inspired by with her tail, is candy corn. And of course, she's laying on her tail, so you can't see it. Lady, say hi with your tail. Yeah, there's that candy corn tail. Hey, girl. But yeah, so that would have been really cute. But of course, I ended up just doing the nail wraps. Actually, her nails are long, so don't judge me. But like, look how cute. This one's my favorite with the stripes. Can you see it? Oh, he's so cute. Lady, he's so pretty. Oh my gosh. But yeah. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful. I feel like it may have been a little bit all over the place, but I just really wanted to talk about, like, you know, the perspective of, like, I wasn't in favor of creative grooming at all. I was pretty against it, actually. But by going to this creative class and getting to know more about Angela and Adrian and Lori and realizing how much they actually know about color, I was very impressed. I bought both of Angela's books. I got one for free. I showed that in my haul. I don't have them right in front of me, or I'd show you right now. But yeah, I think that they are awesome. They know their stuff. And yeah, maybe one day there'll be a school for, you know, I would like it to be just like a full, like, I think there needs to be more grooming schools in general, but I think that if we're going to be doing creative grooming, we need some hardcore color classes that people can really learn all the ins and outs of this stuff, because there's a lot to know. And like I said, if you make a mistake, sometimes it can be pretty bad. Even like knowing that, like, you can't mix metallic dyes. So if, like, the likelihood that you would encounter a metallic dye with the dog world is low. But Angela told a story that she was coloring a dog's ears. Well, she didn't, I think the owner didn't disclose to her, or maybe she didn't realize that there was metallic dyes actually in eardrops that this dog had been taking. She didn't know. She said she looked over at the dog and it was smoking. Okay, so this is important things to know. And fortunately, she did know about metallic dyes and figured out what the problem was. But that's the thing, is, like, you need to understand stuff like that. Because, I mean, like, in human hair, if you mix, you know, regular dye with, like, a metallic dye, you can fry somebody's hair off. You can burn their scalp. There are many things that can happen. So there's a lot to know about color. I feel like I'm, like, not even really scratching the surface of it. I think that these ladies do a good job. And I hope in the future that we can have even longer, more in-depth creative classes where we actually talk about all the background behind it too, and really go into all the different things. You know, unfortunately with the groom shows, they're so short. They only have a limited time to explain this stuff, but these guys do a really great job. So if you can get a class by Angela Cumpy, Adrian Pope, or Lori Craig, or the three of them together, which is like the ideal, but I don't know how often they do classes all together, but I would say definitely go for it. It's worth it if you want to do creative. These are the queens of creative. Lori, Adrian, and Angela are the queens. They truly are. They're going to be judging creative grooming from now on, and I'm so excited to see how that goes, and I'm excited for everybody that gets to be judged by them. As you guys know, I've talked about, I'm not I'm not really wanting to compete, but I would love to know more or learn more about creative grooming from these guys. So if I see another class pop up that they're teaching, I will definitely be taking it. Also, I should have mentioned this way earlier, but Jilly is also going to be doing a video. It's Bow Wow's Dog Services. I need to check and see if she's changed her YouTube name. I know she changed her Instagram. I think it's like Jilly Mooch Grooms or Grooming. So go check her video out. She has a different perspective on the creative class because she came from like the opposite end of like she'd never done color before and she's been doing it in her salon and now she took a class on it. So it's a very different perspective on, you know, than the cosmetology background one. So I think that's going to be really interesting to see what she has to say. I don't know when her video will be up, but as soon as it is up, I will be linking it below. So check the bio, make sure her video, or that you go watch her video too, because like I said, it's going to be very different than what this video was. So anyway, I hope that this maybe helps somebody that was in the same place that I was in, where I was like very against creative grooming. I know a lot of us did come over from cosmetology, and now we're doing, you know, dogs instead of humans, but we have this color background. I think it's really important that we share it with the people that don't, so that instead of just being like, well, now I don't want them to learn about color because they're not a cosmetologist. That's stupid. That's the perspective I had. I was stupid. I mean, and maybe stupid's not the right word. I was maybe fearful for the dogs, or like thinking of like worst case scenarios, even though that's not what's happening. Like, you know what I mean? So anyway, instead of being negative about it, I think we need to share our knowledge with these people that don't want to pay $14,000 to $20,000 to go to hair school just so that they can learn about color theory. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, I think we need to share the knowledge. I think we need to talk about it, and I think we will bring creative grooming to the next level. And I'm really excited for that because I've really been enjoying it. And it's re-sparked, because when I did human hair, my thing was color. So being able to get my hands back on color, when I did Luna's tail, I just felt right. And it was like, I'm back, bitch. Like, that's how I felt. So anyway, I hope this was helpful to people. Like I said, you have to take one of their classes if you can. And if you can't, you have to get this book. I know for a fact Barkley sells this book on their website for $59.95. I paid full price for it, even at the groom show, but when you get in here and like realize the amount of knowledge she put in this book, she could have charged like $400 for this book and it probably still would have been fair. I mean, just saying, like, and maybe that's a high number, but I mean, she tells them like marketing, like how to sell this to your clients and how to price it, and she's got so many tips and tricks. She breaks down different types of color. This is, I mean, you know, I paid $14,000 to go to hair school. This is probably this is 1000% the best piece of literature that you were going to find about creative color. This will teach you everything that there is to know from a groomer's perspective on creative. Maybe one day we'll have books, like maybe one day I can come out with a book where I talk about a human stylist's perspective of a creative groomer or something, and you know, I can talk about the color wheel and all the stuff behind it. You know, these are goals of mine. And I just want to share the knowledge instead of being stupid and being like, oh, this is mine. I paid so much money. It's mine. Like, and that's like going against everything that I've said about, like, you know, groomers haven't helped me and stuff like that. And then here I am doing the same thing to people that are trying to do creative color. I don't want to share my knowledge because I'm like, I paid a lot of money. Like, yeah, but who cares? And I paid a lot of money, so if I'm sharing it with you guys, then I'm getting my money's worth, and I'm helping you guys better yourself too. So anyway, I've really rambled on for a very long time. You have to get this book. I think I've shown it to you enough. Do you guys remember what this book looks like? Okay, thank you. Oh, sorry, Luna, like slammed the book down. She jumped. My bad. But yeah. I hope this was helpful. If you guys want to know more about creative and you have some questions that you think I could answer with my cosmetology stuff, let me know. I definitely want to make some more videos talking about it. There's a lot to know about color theory. Maybe we could do a video where we make a color wheel together. I think that might be fun. Maybe we could plan a live feed or something. We'll do something really fun with it, so don't worry. And I'm really excited to see what the future holds for creative grooming because it's blowing up, you guys. My Nana who is kind of out in the middle of nowhere, like not involved with the world and keeping up with things at all. She pulled me aside at my sister's birthday the other day and was like, you should have seen these dogs on TV, the way they were coloring them. She was like, you would never believe this stuff. And she was talking about creative grooming. And, you know, for her to talk about this, she would always get on to me. I used to have bright red hair and all this stuff. And she'd be like, why do you do that to your hair and all that? So for her to be like, wow, you should have seen what they were doing, it just, to me, it shows how much this is growing. So anyway, I can't wait to share more with you guys. I hope I can make some more videos that will make creative grooming even more helpful. Once I get my van and like my color and all that going, I'll definitely make some more videos to help you guys out. Even with like the ombre and stuff, like there's some different techniques that you guys can use to get an even better looking ombre and just stuff like that. So, I can't wait to make some more videos about this, but again, if you can take any classes by Adrienne Pope, Lori Craig, or Angela Cumpy, like you have to, because they know their shit, you guys. And that's coming from a cosmetologist, okay? If I'm sitting here saying these women know what they're talking about, I promise you, like, they know what they're freaking talking about. I'm just saying, like, and you can take it for what it is, and you can go and do your own research, but I'm telling you, these women, they know what they're talking about. And yeah, I can't wait to see where the creative world goes next. I'm really excited, and I'm really so excited to be a part of it rather than watching bitterly from the sidelines. I'm so excited to be involved in it. And I'm proud of myself for being able to admit that I was sour about it. Because sometimes it's hard to sit there and be like, yeah, I was being a little sour Susie. I was over here pissed that everybody was over here coloring dogs. I was like, too good for that, you know, and here I am admitting that I was fucking wrong. Okay, I was completely wrong, and I will be the first one to say it. I messed up, I changed my opinion, and you can too. So, you know, opinions change, time changes, you know, and I'm just really, I'm glad to be a part of this creative world because it's a lot of fun, you guys. So anyway, let me know in the comments if there's anything in specific you want me to talk about. I definitely want to make some more videos on color because I think it's so much fun. It was definitely when I went to hair school, like what I wanted to learn. So it really stuck with me. So I know a lot about it. So I really want to share it with you guys. I can come up with some videos, but I'm really interested in seeing what like you guys want to see about color, you know, because sometimes I kind of forget. Like, it's kind of like, it took me a while to, like, realize that I needed to make a video on how to hold shears because that was the first thing I learned in hair school was how to hold my shears. So I kind of take some of that stuff, like, I take advantage of it, and I don't realize, like, that not everybody knows that stuff. So if you guys are new to color, please let me know what kind of questions I could answer to make it easier and make you feel more confident about doing color. Because, yeah, I really want to share my knowledge with you guys. I feel like that's why I ended up, I think everything happens for a reason. I think the reason that I went to hair school and did what I did is because I was supposed to share it with you guys. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited too. This ended up being a very long video, but hopefully you guys watched till the end. I don't know. And Lori, Angela, and Adrienne, if you guys are seeing this, hi, and I'm so honored that you guys have even seen my videos, and it's just crazy, you guys. I still feel like I'm just talking to Grace and Amy and June. I'm just like, hey guys, you know, but now I know, like, so many people message me talking about watching my videos, and I'm just so honored, like, because I don't think I'm a very, like, I mean, I don't think I'm a bad groomer, but there's definitely groomers out there that are way better than me. So the fact that anybody, like, comes on here and just, like, watches my videos is so flattering to me. And now that I know some big names in the industry have watched it, it's a little intimidating, but it's still, like, for me, it doesn't feel like they're watching. I feel like it's still just you guys, so it's not too hard to just be myself, but I don't know. Sometimes I think about it and I get overthinking. I'm like, you know, I need to not take this too seriously. Like, I think I've gotten to this point by being myself, so I'm not going to change that now. But anyway, I'm going to shut up because surely you guys are, like, over it by now. I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!